Hey there! If you're stepping into the world of teaching, or maybe you're already there, you know that passion you have for helping young minds grow. But let's be real, you also know it can be, well, pretty confusing sometimes. Today, we're going to look at a much deeper way to understand the kids you'll be dedicating your life to.
I mean, come on. You've totally been there, right? You look at a child, you see what they're doing, and you're just thinking, what is going on here? It just doesn't seem to make any sense. It's a universal feeling, and I promise you, you are not alone in asking that.
You see the entire range, all in one room. There's the kid who can sit and focus forever, the one who's bouncing off the walls, and then there's that quiet one in the corner that you're always wondering about. What makes them all so different? And that's the real puzzle, isn't it? You've worked so hard to create this consistent, supportive classroom for everybody, but the kids all react so differently. It can feel totally random. But what if it's not random at all?
Okay, let's really dig in here. Because to solve this puzzle, we have to completely change how we look at it. We got to stop just looking at the surface level behavior and start digging for what's happening underneath.
Just let that sink in for a second. Every single behavior. It's not some random act of defiance or a kid just deciding to act out. It's a predictable pattern, a pattern that's been built piece by piece long before that child ever set foot in your classroom. This really shows the huge shift we're talking about. You know, most of us were trained to manage behavior. We're reacting to the surface, kind of like a firefighter, constantly putting out little fires. But this new way of thinking is all about understanding behavior. It's about responding to what's going on deep down, seeking clarity, more like an architect, making sure the foundation is solid. So this pattern underneath it all, let's call it the child's blueprint. It's like their own personal operating system. Think about it. A kid who's always acting out for attention. Maybe their blueprint was created in a home where they felt totally invisible unless they were loud. So that disruptive behavior, it's not about you. It's a survival skill they learned. And until we get that blueprint, we're just guessing.
All right, so how in the world do you start to read something like that? It sounds complicated, I know, but it's really a journey that takes you from total confusion to real clarity. And it starts with just a few key steps. Let's break it down.
Okay, so there are three main parts to this. First, you explore their foundation. That just means getting curious about what early experiences shaped how they see the world. Second, you try to understand their inner OS, their operating system. How do they process feelings, memories, and everything happening around them? And finally, you learn to decode their language. This is the game changer, where you see every behavior as communication, not a problem to be solved.
And this is where it all clicks into place. A tantrum isn't just a tantrum anymore. No, it's a signal. It's a signal that a child is completely overwhelmed, that they need help, that some need isn't being met. Defiance isn't just a power struggle. It could be a signal of fear. And silence? Silence isn't just nothing. It's its own powerful message. The moment you start seeing behavior as a language, everything changes.
So we've talked a lot about the child, right? But understanding their blueprint, that's only half the equation. The other half involves looking at the environment. And a massive critical part of that environment, well, it's you.
You see, a child's behavior doesn't happen in a vacuum. It's always being shaped by the room they're in, the people they're with, and yeah, that unspoken energy that fills the space.
And this is maybe the biggest takeaway of all. Your own inner state, how you're feeling, your stress, your calm, is probably the single most powerful force in that entire classroom. It's contagious. Think about that for a second. You are the weather in your classroom. Are you a calm, sunny day where kids feel safe enough to explore and learn, or are you a stormy, unpredictable day where they feel anxious and have to put their walls up? Becoming a great teacher isn't just about understanding kids, it's about understanding yourself, too. When you bring all of this together, when you understand the child's blueprint and you manage your own inner state, something truly incredible happens. Your work stops being just a job and becomes what it was always meant to be, a true calling.
I mean, this is the heart of it all, isn't it? You're not just there to teach facts and figures from a curriculum. You are fundamentally shaping human beings during the most important, formative years of their lives. That's a huge responsibility, but it's also an unbelievable privilege.
When you shift from just managing what's on the surface to genuinely understanding what's underneath, your impact grows exponentially. You're not just making the classroom a little more peaceful for yourself, you are giving a child the safety, the awareness, and the tools they need to build a better life. So as you go forward on this journey, this is the question I want you to hold on to. Are you going to be a manager of behavior, or are you going to be an architect of understanding? The choice is completely yours, and it will define not just your career, but the lives of every single child you're lucky enough to meet.